waiting for God to call out to us and say, leave your country, you can now go somewhere else, you can get on a plane in safety and go and visit another country. I'm certainly waiting to be told that it's time to be able to leave once again. But of course, famously, Abraham was told to leave his country, to go out, didn't have any travel restrictions, didn't have any problems getting out the country. But the question is, where was he going? So in our minds, we think that he was told to go to the lands of Israel. But that's not actually what the Torah tells us. The Torah tells us that God came to Abraham and told him to leave his home, his birthplace, his parents' house, and to go on a journey to where? El haaretz asher areka, to the place that I will show you. For some reason, God doesn't actually tell him where he's going. He allows him to go on some sort of wandering journey. And in fact, the Ramban says that is exactly what happened. He said Abraham wandered from place to place. He simply wandered around trying to figure out if this was the place that God wanted him to go to, until eventually he came to the land of Israel and he felt and he recognized that that was the place. That was the destination that God had in mind for him all along. And the question is, why? What was it that God was trying to teach him by making him going on this strange journey? I think that one of the reasons is to teach us a very, very powerful lesson. And that is that many, many times in life, we act out of intellect, we act out of rationality, we act because we think something is the right thing to do, because we know it's the right thing to do, because we've figured it out, because we have logic to our decision. And God is actually trying to teach Abraham fundamentally from the beginning of the Jewish people that a relationship with God, that kedusha, holiness, this connection to spirituality requires more than just logic. Logic is crucial. Logic is important, but it also requires emotion. It also requires us to connect to something in a deeper way, to connect to something with our feeling, with our sense, with our ability to feel something which is not necessarily describable in quite the same way, for us to be able to sort of feel our way around something, rather than use our eyes, rather than use our mind, and rather than use our logic. Through Abraham's journey, what he was doing was he was really trying to feel, trying to sense whether something was the right thing to do. That voyage of discovery was something that led him on ups and downs, through positives, through challenges, in ways perhaps he didn't know, through feelings where he was able to find out things about himself and about life, and that journey is ultimately what it is all about. We too are on a journey. We are on a journey through our entire lives, and we are on a journey right now through 2020, through a difficult year, through a challenging year. And part of that journey is using our intellect and our logic to figure out where to go next, to try and figure out what's coming next, although most of the time we don't really know. But the other part of it is allowing ourselves to sharpen those emotions, to feel the ups and the downs, to be able to be drawn in by the kedusha that we can find in all sorts of areas of life, that holiness which we can find that runs deep throughout every area, no matter the ups, the downs, no matter the challenges, no matter the positives. In every moment in life, there is opportunity for kedusha. There is opportunity not to describe it necessarily, not to find it through logic, but to connect to it emotionally, to be able to link ourselves to it. And that is the journey that Abraham went on right from the beginning, a voyage of discovery, searching for meaning, looking for something and sensing it. And that is the journey that we are on through life, the ability to try and connect to something without necessarily being able to touch it, without necessarily being able to measure it, without necessarily being able to see it with our eyes, but still being able to sense it. And the more that we try to connect it, the more that we will be able to feel it, the more that we will be able to sensitize ourselves to that kedusha, and the more that we will be able to instill those feelings within our very soul. Shabbat Shalom.